morning. Hi. I am sorry that I haven't made so many videos. I haven't been producing, and it's not anything but like time constraints. I have a lot of projects that I'm working on, mostly getting work, because since I've moved here, I haven't been working. But I have been spending money on the boat, but not actually working. So there are a lot of things, I know everybody wants to sail. I want to sail too, but there are things that need to be done before I feel safe taking this boat out. The guy who took it out, the guy who owned it before, I guess he didn't care. He was a bit of a renegade. But, safety. I want to be safe. So I've been working on getting all the systems working. And hiring help for that too, because if I could do it myself, but if I do it myself, it's just going to take longer, and it's going to be even longer before I go sailing. So that's what's happening today. Let's see what's happened since last time. We got the dinghy. We upgraded the dinghy. I'm cutting the back seat. This fancy laser saw. See that laser?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Thank you, Makita.
Not too bad.
Not too bad. This is the
have
little
to
boat.
Measure that. That's 5 degrees. Maybe it's only 3 degrees. Check it out.
Check it.
Yeah, but this degrees right here in this little gadget here. If we take this and lay it on this straight edge, lock it in place. Let's see what this says.
Got the reading, cut the wood, installed the back seat. You can see it there. We painted it, we sanded it, we painted it, painted the outside, painted the inside, installed hardware. Then we did the non-skid here, you can see. We also cut out that forward little spot and turned it into an anchor locker. So now you can put the anchor in there. We added hardware. Did I say that? Yes, I did. I've got a whole bunch of fenders, oars, rope, line. There's the anchor, and she's for sale now. And I'm now going to sell it because I don't really need it right now. And the davits that are on this boat are also just makeshift davits. They're not real. And actually, they're not real. Look at this. They're just, I don't know what they're gonna hold, and I don't know, physics-wise, I don't know who did this. So, when we haul out in 2 weeks, we'll be taking those off too. Then, we just had a rigger come and look at everything, and that was all good. We had an electrician come and fix up the batteries and the panel because it was a bit of a mess. And could I have done it? Yeah, but it just would take me too long. I am going sailing today for the first time in 4 years, actual sailing, not just working on boat projects. But it's not my boat, it's his boat. But the good thing about this is I've never sailed in the Gulf or in the Bay, and there's a lot of shoals. His draft, I think, is 5'2", and I'm 5 foot. So that'll be a kind of a learning experience to see how to get out of the bay and into the Gulf. Very exciting, because hopefully I'll be moving my boat down here soon. I am almost there. She is on the left. We got the sails up. It was light wind. There wasn't another sailor out there until way later. We saw one sail in the far distance. We made it to 5.7 knots, and the maximum depth I think was 22 feet. And that is the Gulf of Mexico off the west coast of Florida, people. It was pretty. It was a fun day. Thank you, Lee. So today I am buffing the deck. I am compounding because it's very chalky and I don't know when the last time it was done. I did the cockpit already and I'm testing it out today. I'm just rubbing on it here and it still has a little bit of chalk. Maybe I just need to power wash it. Could be product still on there because I did just wipe it down with a cloth. So I'm doing that. I'm gonna do the forward decks and power wash, and then we get to look at spider cracks because there's a lot of spider cracks and little tiny holes. This is the patch I speak of. It's like black coming through. This is what it looks like. It's not black coming through. It's like you can see sparkly fibers. They're kind of hard to see. This is my work outfit. Salt life. It's very Florida. Gotta have the UV shirt. It's wicked hot. It's wicked hot, ladies. That's what I'm up to. Very exciting. In the next month, we will be ready to go for a sail. There's one big project left after this, and it's a big project, and that is the holding tank. The holding tank for the head has a crack and it has no access. So we have decided that we are going to cut up the floor and see if it's not just an easy fix of, resealing the lid. Apparently it's a lid on top of a fiberglass tank and sometimes the lid pops open because it wasn't really sealed very well, or the flexing of the boat over time. The boat's from 1984, so she's an antique. So I'm sure her lid has popped. So we're gonna fix the lid and at least have one good working head. This boat does have two, but the other one was also shut down. And that one's not even, all the seacocks are closed. It's just closed. And upon further investigation into that situation, it does look like that one also had a leak. Looks like a small drip of a leak. But that one has access. So once we, open that up, we can address that. It's empty and dried up now, so it hasn't been used for many years. So we can open that up and get it rolling, or maybe even put a new tank in there because we do have access to that one. I'm hoping that we don't have to do that in the aft head because there's just no access to that tank. I'd have to rip out so much of the boat to get to it. So I'm hoping we can just seal that up and be done with it. The leak is on the top, I know that. So that's good. That means we have access. Anyway, that's what's happening. I'm sorry I haven't been on here because I've been trying to get work and I haven't even been to the boat. So last night I slept on because I want to get more work. I want to get at least this deck done. I want to just finish this up so we can go sailing, right? Oh my God. So I slept on the boat last night and there's just party boat after party boat going by. More party boats. There's a quiet one. Midnight party boat. Now, this is when we took the panels off. I don't know if I showed you this before, but we took the forward panels off and the forward bar off. and we replaced it in the back and then lifted the forward panels to the back. So now they're hanging over the transom. It is a much better look. That is my boat neighbor, Lee. He's been super helpful. He knows a lot. And Pierce got to help too. So all in all, it was really great. And now it looks amazing. So the other thing I'm doing is here. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if I can see that. There's a tarp on top of the Dodger. So I'm going to use that as a pattern. And then I'm going to cut it, make a pattern, take that big sunshade that I'm not using. We did put it up and we tried it, but in order to get around it, you literally have to crawl on your hands and knees to like move around. So it's not very convenient unless you're sitting like right in the middle of the cockpit. Yeah, so I'm using that as a pattern, and I'm gonna cut a Dodger out of that. It won't have isinglass, but it'll be, you know, a little shade cover. So today, varnish, compound, power wash. That's all that's happening today. Oh, no, and pattern making. Let's see if I can get to that list. That's a long list. It's nonstop action. But this for me is the fun stuff. And I don't mind a project. I love a project, actually. So I used to pick up furniture on the side of the street and refinish it and flip it. That was fun. I did that for a while. It's just fun. I like to sand and paint, fix stuff. So this boat is kind of like my fixer. She's an antique and I'm fixing her up. She was a little bit more of a mess than I realized. All right, I will let you go. Soon we'll be sailing, but not today. The water today is literally coming up through the bottom of the dock. Like, I just took my cords because they were just right at the edge of the dock, just precariously close to just diving in. I guess they're made for water, but let's not sink them. The water is just right up the dock, splashing through. All the wetness on the dock. Right there. This is from the water coming up through the bottom. Nobody washed. Nobody's running hoses. As a matter of fact, the hoses are not working. So I'm kind of wondering about that because I just compounded everything. I gotta wash it off. Crazy. We're also pulled tight because this is way high tide. This is what we call the lee handle. And it doesn't mean it's on the lee side. It is named after my dear friend Lee, who was stepping onto the boat and slipped into the water. He grabbed a hold of a line, dragged himself all the way to the stern, and we got him back on board. Soon after, the lee handle was installed, because the current in this river is crazy. And if my lines had not been made up in a really weird way, he wouldn't have had anything to grab onto. Like now, because I fixed my lines, but now there's nothing to grab onto, so I guess it was a good thing. Thank you for following, and thank you for joining me. And thank you for your support. It means a lot, because on the days that I don't want to do this anymore and I think, ugh, can I even do this? I'm like, yes, I have a couple people rooting for me. And I'm like, yes, okay, I'm gonna do this, you're right. It's just a little encouragement, it's nice. So thank you, I appreciate it.